I want to talk to you today about your cutting mats. Doesn't that sound exciting? I want to talk to you about your cutting mats. And I thought that maybe I would share something with you. This was actually a request from Deanna. So shout out to you, Deanna. I know you're on here right now because she emailed me the other day and said, hey, I have an idea for a 3 at 3. Would you mind sharing with us how to take care of your cutting mats? And I thought, you know what? That actually is a really, really good idea. I don't know about you. I'm going to grab a cutting mat right here. Do any of your mats look like this? Oh my goodness. This one has had its day, my friends. In fact, I don't even know if there's any help for some of this. But that is one ugly looking cutting mat. And I bet a lot of you can relate to that. And one of the things about cutting mats is that they're so expensive. Did you get that on the website? Okay. They are they can be expensive. I mean, they're an investment, right? And so you want to try and extend the life of your cutting mat as much as possible. So that's what I thought I would share today for 3 Things at 3 was how to extend the life of your cutting mat. So thank you, Deanna, for the idea. And let me share with you some thoughts that I have on just that. So first of all, in taking care of a mat, there's a few things that I want to make sure and mention. And one is that you always want to store it flat, okay? Even having it up on the side is not a good idea. Being able to just have it lay as flat as possible whenever possible. Don't roll it. And definitely do not keep it in a hot car. I've been there, done that before. Oh, I was so sad. And have you ever just like you wanted to literally cry? I know there are worse things in life, but as a quilter, and if your mat goes all because you left it in a car, oh, right? Because they are expensive. And so it's actually a good idea to keep your mat clean and conditioned. So I'm going to talk to you about that. But again, making sure that you always lay it flat. Don't store it upright. Don't roll it. Don't keep it out of sunlight. Keep it out of a hot car. Leanne is saying, hi from hot New Mexico. I bet, Leanne, you have that issue too with your cutting mats in hot New Mexico or wherever you might be where it gets warm. You got to be really careful of those mats because they will warp. I saw an idea a while back that I've always remembered, and I haven't done it, but where you put it on a hanger. And Kathleen, she's sharing the same thing. She says, I hang mine on a pants hanger. And yes, mine is always out. So mine is always flat. But from a long time ago, I remember a friend had taken the little clips on a pants hanger and just clipped it on, and then she had it hanging in her closet, which I think is an excellent idea. Excellent idea. So anyway, that's just a thought to keep it out of the way. If you do have to store it, clip it onto a little hanger and you'll be able to do it safely and not have to worry about any warping. The other thing I want to mention, if you're like this one, anyone want to guess? Let's see. Let me show you this. Anyone want to guess? You don't even see the line here, or what number it is. Does anyone want to guess what number that is? What number on the mat is that going to be? Oh, right there. Any ideas? All right. Ideas. What number, how many inches is that on the mat? Well, in your mind, if you're thinking, oh, that has got to be 18 inches, you're right. Yep, a lot of you are saying 18 because that is a cut we do so often. So often is the 18-inch mark. That's a half yard, or if we're cutting fat quarters, that's the quarter yard or the the 18 inches of the fat quarter. So fat quarters or half yards, that just seems to always be the one that's getting, cut into, right? If you guess like 36 inches, you're right there too. 2.5 is another one that's commonly used. So on those markings that you are using the most often, my recommendation is to actually, offset it every once in a while. So if I'm doing a bunch of half-yard cuts, I might do a half yard and a half yard, but maybe my next one I might move it to the inch mark and then go to the 19 inch, or go from the 17 inch to the 35 inch. So trying to change up those markings so that it's not always on the same line will actually help keep your mat longer and in better shape. Okay, so that's some thoughts there. Now, as far as cleaning and conditioning your mat, this is something I don't do often enough. I really should get in the habit more of doing it, and I would recommend it, at least, I don't know, maybe if you're doing a lot of sewing, I would even do it maybe once a month, is get into the idea of cleaning and conditioning it. So I'm going to show you the tools that I use in order to do that. So the first thing I use is one of these little soft scouring brushes, okay? It's not abrasive at all. All right, it's still very soft, and what you're going to do is you're just going to lightly, in a circular motion, go over top of the mat. What is that going to do? It's going to pull out some of that lint that gets built up, especially when you have divots in that mat. Your lint and the cotton just clings right to it. So giving it a soft scouring, is going to be a good idea, to try and remove as much lint as possible, cotton, threads, things like that, and just kind of keep it clean. So that's how you're going to start out. The next thing you're going to do is fill a tub, whether it's just a small tub if you have a small mat, or yes, even your bathtub if you have a larger mat. You're going to want to fill it with a ratio of vinegar, okay, just vinegar that you pick up at the grocery store, and cool water. Okay, and the ratio is 1/4 cup of vinegar to 1 gallon of water. 1/4 cup of vinegar to 1 gallon of cool water. Now, I don't take the time to measure. I don't want to pull out measuring cups and all that stuff. I just go, yeah, that's about 1/4 cup, and that's about a gallon of water, right? I mean, you could make it more precise, but it's really not that important, okay? You're just going to have a little bit of vinegar to a little bit of cool water, not even warm water, not even lukewarm water. Just have nice cool water in the tub so that you can, what you're going to do is let your mat soak in that water. And you want to let it soak for about 20 minutes, okay? Yes, Claudia asked, is that a scrubby for dishes? It is. That's exactly what it is, a scrubby for dishes. But again, I'm not doing it real hard. I'm doing it very gently on there. Brenda says wax on, wax off. That's awesome. Boy, that takes me back in time, doesn't it? Okay, so you're going to let your mat rest for about 20 minutes in the vinegar and cool water solution. Okay, then after that's done, you'll take some mild dish soap. So it's this, Palmolive, doesn't matter. You don't want something that is like a harsh dish soap. So I wouldn't get one with that's antibacterial or anything like that. I would just do a mild dish soap, and then you're going to, with a soft brush, you're just going to brush it with the mild dish soap in the water, and just be able to clean it up. You will be amazed, my friends, at how new your mat will look when you do this process. and it's really easy to do. That's why I just could kick myself that I go, why don't I do this more often? Because it's really not that difficult to do. Okay, it's not that difficult to do. Lynn asked, what if the mat is bigger than your bathtub? That's actually a really good question, Lynn. And so if that's the case, what I would do is I would kind of let it rest in like halfway. So you would have it kind of curved up a little bit, but let it rest halfway. Don't worry, it's not going to bend or warp or anything, because remember you're in cool water. So you would let that soak for about 20 minutes, and then I would rotate it around and do the other side. So I hope that helps. Okay, so just with a little bit of mild dish soap, you're going to scrub it, and now you'll rinse it off. Lay it down on a flat surface. I'd put probably a towel underneath and a towel on top. This is just regular white vinegar, Annette. Okay, and let it air dry. You can blot it dry too if you wanted to, but let it air dry on a flat surface. Like I said, it's going to condition your mat, which will actually extend the life of your rotary blade as well. Because when your rotary blade has a nice softer surface to cut into, the blade is going to last that much longer. Okay, so it is a good idea for many different reasons to clean and condition your mats often. All right, so that's what you're going to do, and that's it.